John, Missy, that's a beautiful backdrop you have there. Tell us, where in the world are you right now?
We're home.
We're on our little remote Pacific island. It's one of the smaller Hawaiian islands. And yeah, this is
the first structure we put up. This is our first home on this land. So
coming to you directly from the center of our life vision.
Exactly. How are you, V?
I'm doing good, guys. So we have 1,000. We just hit 1,000 people live with us right now. The number is now.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining
1,000.
us.
So folks, go ahead and in the chat, state where you're from. And if you've done Lifebook before, feel free to share as well. We know we have some people who have done Lifebook who are here as well because they want to experience John and Missy live again.
Oh,
that's amazing. Look at the chat blowing up. Dubai, Denmark, LA, Austria, Canada, Belgium, Lakeland. This is a really, really diverse audience. The Mind Valley community comes from almost 150 plus countries. Kazakhstan, India, Argentina, Brazil, Turkey. The only hard part, John and Missy, is always finding a time
exactly
that everyone. But if you look at this, there are people here in Asia who are, it's the middle of the night for them, Philippines, and they are still here. So thank you, guys.
Salamat, Filipinos. Salamat.
nice.
Thanks so much for joining us, everybody.
Yes, so guys, let's get started. We have approximately 90 minutes and we want to go fast and we want to deliver extreme value for you guys. So here's what we're going to be doing in this live call. Firstly, one of the tools that you're going to learn here that is going to be a good takeaway for you is the Life Manifesto technique. The Life Manifesto is something I wrote about in my book, The 6-Phase Meditation, which was a USA Today bestseller this year. But that technique comes from this remarkable couple because they are living their Life Manifesto. Think of the Life Manifesto as a 4-page guide that articulates how you want your life to live, how you want your life to appear. Most people do not live lives of deliberate construction. They live life of randomness. The world happens to them. When you understand the secrets of Lifebook, this is actually the greatest act of manifesting you can do in the world. The world doesn't happen to you. The world happens from you. Your outer reality, your experiences, everything in your life, from your love life to your body, to your health, to your money, to your career, to your degrees of freedom, to your emotional mastery, to how you show up in the world, is an act of deliberate creation. Now, Lifebook is vast. Lifebook is deep. Lifebook is a 6-week program. Some people take the seminar. I did the Lifebook seminar in 2010. 4 days. I spent $5,000 on it. This is it. This is my Lifebook from 2010. You can see it's all worn out, right? That's a good sign. When a book is worn out, it means you've been using it. But this is it. Look at how worn out this is. Inside this book is 100 pages, 100 giant pages of my life in every way. Look, that is the page dedicated to my meditation practice. Now, back then, I was not teaching meditation, but what I put down here on how I wanted to bring meditation as part of my life helped me become one of the foremost meditation teachers in the world. I put down health and fitness, and this was transformative. You can see the pictures that were added, the stuff I put down. My body transformed. I went from 22% body fat to right now 13% body fat, which is excellent for a man of my age, 47. And lots of other things manifested in my life, but it became because of the Lifebook technique. Now, before we begin with the Life Manifesto, John, Missy, I want you to just share. You guys came up with Lifebook as in a very dark moment of your life, right? You almost did this to save yourself. Tell us how Lifebook became a thing.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay, so about 31 years ago? Yeah.
Yes.
Over 3 decades ago,
Long time ago.
I basically had what I characterize now, I didn't know it at the time, but I characterize it now as a complete nervous breakdown.
At like age 30.
Yeah,
30.
around age 30. This is about 32 years ago, when in the first couple of years of our relationship. And you guys, how that happened to me, well, my whole childhood story is intense, and I don't need to get into that. But the bottom line is, leading up to that, what ended up being a severe anxiety disorder. we had achieved a lot of financial and career success.
Mhm.
We were burning the candle at both ends. We were also young, so we were partying like.
But we were totally out of balance. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
that's right.
we were starting out, we were just exploding and living life in just all directions.
Right.
It was an explosion.
And
for sure.
at some point, the weight of my life, the stress of my life just became too much, and I broke under the pressure. I had a series of debilitating panic attacks. I had no idea what a panic attack was until the first one happened to me. And it was like a friggin' freight train running through my head. And bottom line is, I went to a psychologist and I said, this is what happened. And that guy said, well, John, that's a panic attack and I can prescribe medication for that. And I'm like, see, I saw the same thing happen to my little brother who ended up dying of prescription drugs and alcohol. And
Mhm.
one of Missy's brothers died too. And I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to go in that direction. I think I've got to figure something else out.
Yeah, we got to take a look inside.
I'm not
and
going
see
to
what's going on.
tranquilize myself. I'm
Right.
going to try to legit figure this out.
Yeah.
And at that point in our lives, I was so low, you guys, I could literally not leave my house to go to the grocery store
It was-
without feeling like I was going to
No.
break apart.
It was like we were on this huge ride and then all of a sudden we fell off a
Boom.
cliff.
Yeah.
Like just nothing. It was like, okay, it's time to stop. Take time from everything.
I
Time out.
couldn't work.
Big
I
time.
couldn't, I mean, it was horrible. It was the lowest point of my
I
entire life.
remember, John, I remember you telling me that there were days when just to function, you had to start your day with black coffee and prescription medication. What were you on?
Well,
No.
no. That's how I got into the mess.
Aspirin, actually.
That's how I got into the mess vision.
Mhm.
The day I had my first panic attack, oh, you guys, it was horrible. It was a board meeting. I was opening up a board meeting at at a huge frigging company in Los Angeles. I partied the night before, like till 3:00 in the morning. Like that's not going to make any difference in my friggin' presentation. And so my breakfast that morning was 3 cups of coffee and 2 aspirin. I got in front of that board and I lost my place. I had a massive panic attack. Just melted down basically. It was humiliating.
Yeah.
And I got back to the
body just
hotel.
stopped.
It did. And I got back to the hotel that night and I said, Miss, I don't know what just happened to me, but my self-image is destroyed right now. Like yesterday, I knew who I was. I was a highly successful business executive. Today, I don't know who the hell I am. I don't know what's going on. I need to figure this out. So anyway, over about the next 3 months, those panic attacks generalized in my life and became a severe anxiety disorder where the term is agoraphobia. I was housebound. I couldn't leave my house without feeling like I was going to panic and break apart.
Mm.
I was at absolute rock bottom. You can't go any not being able to function. And what was the contrast vision between being a superstar, rock star executive and then being in that situation over a period of 2 months.
To home, right?
Mhm.
So here's what
Smashed his self-esteem.
here's what I did. I said, Miss, I got to figure out how to rebuild myself and rebuild my life. And I don't know where to start. Well, you guys, my dad was watching late night TV one night and he encountered 2 personal development programs on infomercials. And he bought them both for me because he thought they might help me. The first was by Lucinda Bassett, and it was an anxiety program. It was a program called Attacking Anxiety. And why that made such a big difference in my life is because it explained what was happening
Yeah.
to me.
I didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, we didn't. So that explained what was happening to me, how to sort of mitigate it, and how to get a foothold. But the other program he bought me was Tony Robbins' Personal Power 2, which was the great seller of the 1980s. And this was, I think, in 1991 that this happened to me. I listened to that program. It was my first encounter with personal development. And I'm like, whoa, this really makes sense. I wonder if this will work for me. I started implementing some of the strategies in that program, and I really started feeling better.
Mm.
Mhm.
And the bottom line is, over about a month or 2, I realized that I could make progress with personal development. This stuff actually worked. So you guys, I started consuming personal development. I mean, it was my only hope. It was my lifeline. I did Deepak Chopra. I did Wayne Dyer. I did Brian Tracy. I did Zig. I did everything out there. And what I did, and this is how Lifebook started. The earliest versions of my Lifebook, which looks at least as bad as Visions and all busted up, right? The earliest version of this document was me taking notes from those personal development programs and I would take this book everywhere with me because it just made me feel, if I started feeling anxious or shaky, I could get into this book and read the things that made me feel strong and get a grip on myself, right? So how Lifebook evolved was this. Over time, as I was doing these personal development programs and bringing my notes into my little binder, the first thing I started to do is categorize my notes. And I realized that if I wanted to get well again and then go even farther than that and create an extraordinary life that worked at a high level in every important area, there were certain areas of my life that had to be addressed, couldn't be overlooked. My health and fitness, my emotional life, my love relationship, my career, my financial life. Over time, I identified 12 categories of human endeavor that needed to be mastered in order for me to create an extraordinary life for myself. And I started collecting my notes in each of those areas. And then the next big thing that happened over the next few years, in each of the categories, my health and fitness, my love relationship, my financial life, I asked and answered deeply 4 questions. The first question was,
and we'll come to the questions in a moment, John.
Okay, okay, that's
come to the questions in a moment, right?
But that's how Lifebook started.
It's very important for people to understand the genesis. So the reason why I wanted you to share that story of being at rock bottom is because we have 1,800 people live with us from approximately 100 countries. And those of you who are tuning in, some of you may already be having lives which are incredible, where you wake up every day and you're so grateful. Some of you may be where John was. You are rock bottom right now. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe someone broke your heart. Maybe you're literally watching this from a hospital bed because your health is a mess. Maybe you're going through grief right now. And I want you to know that no matter what level you're at, there's an infinite potential that you have in the world. And Lifebook is about tapping into that infinite potential. Maybe all you want is to be able to get out of that hospital bed and go back to your regular job. Maybe all you want is to just feel like someone loves you. What you're going to get out of Lifebook is firstly to get yourself out of that hole. And if you're already out of the hole, if your life is really pretty good, you're going to go so much further. And those of you who are currently in a hole, it's not just about getting out of your hole and being normal. It's about going beyond normal.
That's right. That's right.
Now, John, there's one part of the story which you mentioned, but I think people may have missed it. Both you and Missy went through incredible tragedy. Between the two of you, you lost 3 siblings to drugs and alcohol. And you knew that if you guys did not get your life in order, if you guys were not deliberate about your life, you might have suffered from the same fate. Would you talk about that for just a minute or so?
Yeah, you know, alcoholism runs in our families, both of our families, and the men in our families tend to die before they're 40 years old, you know, a good percentage of them. And Vishen, truthfully, I feel like if I wouldn't have made the right decision at that point, I would have been heading down that road.
For sure.
This literally saved my life. And what happened was, and you guys will learn a little bit more about this story in this call, but the first thing that happened is I got out of the hole, as Vishen said. I got a foothold, but the process was working so well that I said, why should I stop?
That's right.
Like I've healed myself and I've gotten back to ground zero. What would happen if I just kept doing this? What would happen if I kept reaching for excellence in every important area of life? And how do I do that? And that's when our lives took off to a completely new level.
That's right.
That's incredible. And I want to share this with you guys. I want to share a couple of pictures with you guys because John and Missy may not have these ready, but I collected these pictures in advance. The first thing I wanted to show you is this, okay? So check this out. This picture was John at 29 and John at 49. Now look at that. He seems to defy aging. This was one of the pictures that helped me break my pattern of beliefs in health. As you go through Lifebook, one of the things you will understand, male or female, we take on false beliefs about what our body is capable of. And you've all heard of the placebo effect, right? What if you took on a belief that your body gets fitter and stronger as you age? What if you took on a belief that you can live much longer, maybe into your hundreds? Now look at John's body. Look, literally, he maintained, this is done over 20 years. He's almost 50 in that second photo. And you can see that his body has actually gotten maybe even slightly better. Now,
I want to talk just a little bit about that, V, because we'll go
Yeah.
back to that picture and let me tell you something. So the one on the left was pretty much, that was a year before my nervous breakdown. That's what I looked like. And after I got through the initial hump, when I really started working with the Lifebook methodology, the reason that happened, the reason that 20 years later I looked exactly the same, is because in my Lifebook I said, this is my vision for myself. I will be a muscular athlete for the rest of my life. This is the commitment I'm making.
Right.
And that clarity on a vision will pull your life forward.
It's also a command
Yes.
to your subconscious. It's like, this is
Right.
what it's going to be. And it's like, done.
Yep.
Done.
Right. And I
This is
remember
going through
that,
emotions.
I remember getting that line from you.
Yeah.
I have the fit muscular body of an athlete for the rest of my life.
That's right.
And in my case as well, every year my body gets stronger and stronger by 5 to 10%. I actually test this out in a gym, even as I'm pushing towards 50. Now,
Vishen, your transformation since Lifebook has been phenomenal. Your
Yeah.
physical transformation.
100%.
Yeah, so I want to show you a couple of other things. John and Missy have built this life where they get to travel around the world. These are in the this is them with their kids and grandkids in the rice fields of Bali, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
They literally built a life where they defied regular convention. So
Yeah.
John and Missy were able to spend 3 months of the year living in an exotic location, Egypt, Bali, with their children, and allowing their kids to discover the world. I remember, John, you telling me, I'm going to pull my kids out of the American public school system for those 3 months because they can learn more haggling in the bazaars of Egypt than they can in the public school system.
So
And
true.
you made that happen. Going through these pictures, we see so many other. Another thing that stands out here is the love that you guys have for each other. How long have you guys been married?
33 years.
Yeah.
33 years, right? And you guys are still
Wow.
madly in love. You can barely, I mean,
Yeah.
when I see you guys are still in the honeymoon phase of your life. You can barely keep
True.
your hands off each other. I mean, I'll
Well,
put you guys
yeah,
on
our-
stage
our
if you
love-
guys even get somewhat inappropriate.
Our love is the foundation of our life.
Right.
No question about that. And
But
yeah,
the cool thing is you decided that.
Yes, that's right.
You defined your love life in your life book. Give us an example. What are some things, Missy, that you guys have written about the expression of your love and your relationship in your life book?
Well, one of the things that we always talk about is that love is an action. And a lot of people don't really, well, that's one of the big problems. When you get together, it's always hot and wonderful in the very beginning, you know, because it's new and, oh my gosh, you're in love. But then it starts to wane. People say, oh, it wanes.
always.
Well, because
Right.
you're not pouring energy into it at all times. Like you do in the beginning, because it's awesome. But you have to keep doing that. You have to, it's an action. Love is an action.
Yeah.
You have to keep moving and it's like a garden, you know, you've heard that analogy. You have to weed your garden. You have to give it water and love.
One of the things I've learned about life is that just about every category is as we get older, like for instance, to stay in shape as you're older, it's not that you lose your ability to do that. It's that you get lazy and you don't
stop
do that.
doing it.
If you would
Right.
still do the same things you did when you were younger, you would still have the same body you had when you were younger. It's as simple as that, you guys. That's really the truth. Same thing applies to love. The reason that people lose the passion in their love relationship is because they don't do the things that they used to do when they were dating.
And
Miss and I have never
No.
given that up.
And I will tell
Right.
you, in general, this whole entire program, the whole way we live our lives is consciously.
Yeah.
And this program trained us how to be absolutely conscious,
Right.
present, and like really say, okay, what do we want? Wait a second, let's tweak that. That's not what we want.
Mhm.
I mean, it's remarkable after you've done this for years and years and years, how you really do train yourself to be conscious and in the present moment.
And let me just add one thing to that. The reason that Missy and I literally have everything in life that we've ever wanted is because Missy and I are more clear on what we want than anybody else we've ever met by
Right.
a mile. And that's what does it, you guys. If you have a lack of clarity about where you want to take your life, you are a piece of driftwood floating on the ocean, wherever the tide of life happens to take you. You've got to get clarity on what kind of a life you want to create. That's the way to get command of yourself. And that's what this program does.
That's right.
Beautifully said. So whether you believe in traditional goal setting and you believe that that's the reason why this happens, or you believe in manifesting, one thing is clear: clarity matters. but it's not just clarity. Lifebook isn't just a list of all of your goals. There is a structure to it that's very valuable. Now, the first thing about the structure is the 12 categories, okay? So one of the most important lessons, so write this down, you have to lead a life that's multi-dimensional. In other words, you cannot just be chasing money and have a broken love life, or you cannot just be chasing love and be broke or not have a, not be in tune with your body or your spirituality. You have to lead a life that's balanced. So many people lead a life that is compromised in some way. Some people might give up their career to be a great parent. Well, who says you can't have both? Now with Lifebook, you decide that there is no such thing as compromise. And the world tells you there is, and I can tell you the world is lying to you. So Randy Zuckerberg, who was Mark Zuckerberg's sister, put up a tweet a few years ago, and she said, friends, health, money, career, hobbies, choose 3. You can only have 3. And what utter bullshit.
Totally.
You can have all 12, right? I have all 12. John and Missy have all 12. 75,000 people up to now who have done Lifebook have moved into a life where they have all 12. This is called 12 category living. And it's so important. So one of the first things that you got to understand is there are 12 areas of life that you want to look at. And as we go into the life manifesto technique, which John is going to share with you, you are actually going to see how all of these categories are structured. Now, if you choose to do the Lifebook program, you're going to go deep into these 12 categories. And in these 12 categories, you're not just going to make a list. You're going to examine your beliefs. You're going to examine, then you're going to create your vision. You're going to examine your strategies to get there and your reason why. These 4 things add magic. It's the secret ingredient that turns this Lifebook into this magic book that pulls you out of whatever hole you're in and accelerates you towards the life of your dreams. So that said, guys, I want you all of you who are here in the chat, of the 12 categories, the 3 most important that people really get excited about are money, love, and health. So ask yourself this, okay? So we won't have time to go into all of the categories, but ask yourself this. How would you feel if you had a love life as passionate as John and Missy? If you were not settling to the typical archetype of the relationship where there's a honeymoon period and then it moves into kind of a lukewarm level of intimacy. How would it feel like to be in that honeymoon period for 33 years with the man or woman of your dreams, knowing that you deeply care, honor, and nurture each other? Now, the second question is this. What would it feel like if you could get in shape? Even if you might be going through health problems right now, what if you could have that body of your dreams, like what John and Missy have been able to pull off? Even in their, John, Missy, how old are you? And how old are you guys in this picture?
50s.
In our 50s. I'm still in my 50s.
They are in their 50s in that picture, right? That's amazing. That's amazing. You guys are the sexiest grandparents I know. How many grandkids do you have?
Thank you, Vincent.
Thanks, V.
You're sweet.
How many grandkids do you have?
4 so far.
Yeah.
4 grandkids. Okay.
Yeah.
That's incredible, right? 4 grandkids. Now, the third thing is money. And John, I know I want to share what I witnessed, right? When I was visiting you in Molokai, Hawaii, I saw you guys had 40 acres of land and you're literally building your paradise on planet Earth. You're building a temple to Missy, aligned with the place where the sun rises on her what birthday?
And her birthdays, where it says, yeah.
on her birthday. And you're building beautiful little like Hawaiian style villas and houses for your family. Amazing. And you've collected all of this incredible art from around the world that you're bringing to this location. That is the true power of wealth. John, at one point, when he had his home in Chicago, his home was one of the most beautiful and smart homes in America. Missy and his daughter were invited to Oprah to discuss their home. They have also created incredible wealth for themselves through this approach as well. And so health, love, wealth. If you just got those 3, your life would be incredible. But the thing is, there's more. There's more that maybe society doesn't really tell us to focus on, but are important. Your intellectual life, so you're constantly growing. Your emotional life, because your emotions will determine how you feel every day of your life. Your emotions will also increase your ability to manifest. I'm sure you heard about that book by Esther Hicks, The Power of Deliberate Emotion. Character, because our character will influence not just our lives, but the lives of everyone we touch. Spirituality, because without spirit, what are we? Where there's so much depth to us beyond just flesh and bone. Love relationship we covered, but parenting, if you're planning on having kids, parenting is truly important. Your social life, love and relationship are truly important, but friends matter too. How can you live a life where you're constantly surrounded by friends who are up-leveling you? Career, you can be wealthy, but career means that you're not just living rich, you are producing, creating, innovating. John, Missy, how many companies do you guys currently run?
Currently
Getting less.
5. Yeah, we've been cutting
5.
we've been cutting down. Yeah.
Right. And one of your companies is my favorite coffee company.
Yes, Purity Coffee.
Yes.
Me too.
So you guys have companies in a wide variety of different fields.
Yeah.
Quality
Yeah.
of life, and then life vision. Tell us, John, what is life vision?
Well, what life vision is it's a crystal clear image of the person you want to become in the life you want to live. And how you get that, you guys, is you take a look at each one of those categories and you create a vision for your health and fitness. This is how I want to look and feel. You create a vision for your emotional life. These are the emotions that I want to experience on an ongoing basis. You create a vision for your love relationship. This is my ideal situation with my wife or my husband. You create a vision for your career and financial life. You do each one of those little exercises, and then you roll all that up, and you're like, oh, that's what my ideal life looks like. If I maximized my potential in every one of these subcategories, that adds up to this. And then that becomes the target of every action you take, every decision you make, every thought that's in your head. You try to eliminate everything else in your life except what's on that path. Very few humans do this.
Love it. Now, someone asked, can I do this if I'm already 60?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, man.
We have people in our community that are in their 80s, late 80s actually.
Look, 60 is young. 60,
Yeah.
60 is young for this. The bottom line is this, you guys. Lifebook will work for you no matter who you are, no matter where you are in your life. You can't bring this much consciousness to your life and not transform. But where Lifebook is absolutely the best is if you're going through any kind of a transition in your life. You're retiring, that happens around 60. You're graduating from college, you're having a child, you're getting married, any kind of a transition. It's great to take inventory of where you are and create a compelling vision of where you want to be.
Beautiful.
Right. And so there are certain transitions which are especially important where you want to dive into a life book. Graduating from college, you don't want to blindly approach the world. You want to have a deliberate intent of who you want to be 10 years out. Getting married. This is one of the most important things. Have a life book and do it with your partner, because you guys need to set a joint vision of the life you want to create that is going to ensure that your marriage is aligned, happy, and lasting long. Bringing a child into the world. This is a beautiful thing, but it can also really mess things up, because if you don't have balance, it's going to be difficult for you and the new child. Great time to be doing life book. If you're recently retired, don't let life simply keep you in retirement. Do a life book so that you have an energy and a focus in your retirement. If you're running a business, you absolutely need a life book. Otherwise, you risk becoming part of that 95% of entrepreneurs who start a business because they want freedom, but slowly see that business turns into a shackle for them. And they have to make sacrifices in other areas of their life to keep the business running. And finally, if you're stuck in your career and you're looking to break past that glass ceiling, Lifebook often suddenly gives you the fuel, the energy. You may not even know how to break past, but when the pieces of your life start coming together, often what happens is that your career cannot help but elevate so that you can create all of the aspects of life that you are putting down in your Lifebook. And so all of these areas are really tied in. Now, John, let's come to the section on the Life Manifesto. Tell us what that is, and let's share that process with the team.
Okay, so the Life Manifesto is a critical component that we added to the Lifebook methodology about 10 years ago. So this is relatively new because Miss and I have been working with our Lifebooks for 25 years now. So this came This came only 10 years ago. And basically what it is, so you go through Lifebook, you create a vision for each area of your life, and then you roll it all up into one clear, compelling life vision, right? But sometimes the life vision at the end of Lifebook can be, it's long, it's big, it's a little bit unwieldy. So what we realized about 10 years ago is we got to tighten that up. We got to make that life vision, it's almost got to be a snapshot of what your ideal life looks like and what your ideal self looks like.
Maybe in a day, just like a day in the life of your future self.
Exactly. So it's basically a 2-page synopsis that describes you waking up in your ideal life, living the dream, and that's what it is. Would you like me to take them through? Okay.
Yes. So John is going to read his life vision, and this is a beautiful exercise. I want you guys to close your eyes and just imagine this. Now, what you are seeing is John's life vision, but the idea here is for you to get an idea of how you can create a manifesto for your own life. Okay, so this is the manifesto part of Lifebook. John, okay, please go ahead.
Before I read this, I have to explain one term. The term that you're going to hear in the first paragraph is the term simplicity on the far side of complexity, and this has been one of our biggest goals for 20 years. It comes from an Oliver Wendell Holmes quote that says, "I wouldn't give a fig for simplicity on this side of complexity, but I would give my life for simplicity on the far side of complexity." What that means is you have worked through the complexity of your life and you've come to a simple place on the other side where your life is set up, your systems and processes are up and running, it's working in an almost automated way.
It's second nature.
And it's almost second nature. So let me give you your life takes on an automatic quality and you are maintaining without an immense energy drain pushing that boulder up the hill, and you're growing and expanding from there. So let me give you a couple examples of what that looks like in a couple areas of your life. With your health and fitness, you are no longer struggling to get in shape. You are in shape. You've done the work. You've figured out your metabolic type. You've figured out your particular diet and exercise program that works well for you. You are in shape and you're maintaining in a relaxed, enjoyable way. That's simplicity on the far side of complexity.
And that's what we mean when we say a system. You've got your workout system. You've got your food. Doesn't mean that it doesn't ever change, because you change your workouts, you change your diet, but that system is set up. You don't have to think about it every day. Am I going to work out or not work out? What am I going to do? It's set up so you can do it now.
And that may have taken you literally 10 years to figure out. You had to experiment with so many different kinds of diets and in there. So now you've got simplicity on the far side of complexity with your health and fitness. You're no longer struggling to get in shape. You're enjoying maintaining the shape that you're in. In your love relationship, you've worked through all your shit. You guys have figured out, you've figured out how to communicate effectively. You've worked through your baggage and trauma.
You've done the work.
You've done the work, and you're in this beautiful place now. You've achieved simplicity on the far side of that complexity.
You have your rhythm set up so that your communication's always together. You have your intimacy always is happening because you have date nights that you never miss. Those are your systems.
You are not struggling to pay your bills. You have arrived in your financial life. You have a surplus, and you're enjoying it and maintaining it that's the term simplicity on the far side of complexity. And you guys, the most important thing that we've learned through the Lifebook process over the last 30 years is there is no one right answer for everybody in any area of life. There's no single strategy that's going to work for all 8 billion people on the planet. When it comes to simplicity on the far side of complexity, I'm telling you that is going to work for 99% of people. That's the holy grail of living as a human on the earth, to have worked through all your stuff and to arrive at a life of leisure and luxury and beauty without an immense energy drain every day. Had to explain that concept because our entire life vision synopsis is based on it.
Right on.
Okay, so I'm going to read you now excerpts from our 2-page life vision synopsis. And as I do, realize that this is an emotional description of how we want to live every day.
And John, before you begin, so I'm so excited to have you read this again, because every time I hear you read this, because you're also so well articulated, you give me fuel and ideas to put into my manifesto. Okay, so for those of you, I want you to take out a pen or a pen and a paper or a notepad if you're listening on your computer. And if you hear John say something that resonates with you, write it down, right? Remember, there's no monopoly on dreams. If John talks about something that he wants to bring as a dream into his life or Missy's life, and you go, I want that too, write it down. This is going to help you, and it's going to give you ideas to create and pattern your life manifesto. Okay.
And by the way, that's what we do in the Lifebook community, you guys. We're always sharing visions. Right. And I mean, that's one of the things that makes our community so dynamic. Okay, here we go. Now, I want to say one more thing about this is that this was written 5 years ago. And when it was written 5 years ago, this 2023 vision, we were 5 years out. We are now living this every day.
This is our second too. This is our second big life vision that we put together.
So we wake up in the middle of this life vision every day. We've accomplished every single aspect of it. In January 2023, our vision and our reality have become one. Missy and I have achieved simplicity on the far side of complexity and created our own version of heaven right here on earth. We live a life of luxury, abundance, adventure, and passion. We have the freedom to do what we want, when we want, where we want, with whom we want. We have an extraordinary life that works at a high level in every important area, and the hours of our days are ours. That's the big news.
That was a big one, yeah.
Freedom is our core value. We wake up every day in our beautiful home in Hawaii and ask ourselves, what do we want this day to be about? Life is a playground for us. It's a canvas for us to paint. We live in our unique ability. Our work consists entirely of creative projects that we are uniquely qualified to do. We don't spend time doing anything that we don't truly want to do. This means we create, we write, we record, we design, we produce, and we build. We have a higher quality of life than we've ever had before, and that's really saying a lot for me in this. And yet it costs almost no money to maintain. That being said, we have a lot of money. Our lifestyle is autonomous, it's self-sustaining, and it's self-sufficient. I work on business 2 mornings a week, and the rest of my time is my own to spend with Missy and the kids, studying, exercising, working on creative projects, planning the next day's activity, or whatever the fuck else I want to do. Excuse the explicatives. I use those.
Those are important, actually. When you're writing your life vision, use words that matter to you.
We spend plenty of time in nature, and we'll make our environment in Hawaii more and more beautiful over the years. In 2023, there's a relaxed and effortless flow to our days. They're rewarding and full. We take a walk together every evening. We watch the sunset together every night. In the evenings, we're filled from the day rather than drained from it, so that we're ready for our magical nights. We laugh a lot. We're relaxed and happy. We're healthy and fulfilled. Our Hawaii nights are simply magical. Missy and I have a deep intimacy and an absolutely amazing sex life, indescribable, actually. It's healing, exciting, adventurous, and so much fun. We're in extraordinary physical shape for our age, for any age for that matter. In 2023, we'll be spending a lot of time with our kids, helping them define their goals and helping them achieve their dreams. Our kids and our grandkids are healthy, happy, and so alive. They're bright lights. Nothing has dampened them because we dropped out of the rat race just before that dampening process began. Missy and I have a rich social life in Hawaii. We don't spend our time with anyone that we don't love, admire, and respect. We hang out with fantastic people who enrich our lives and enhance our fun. Our best friends are always happy to travel to paradise to see us. We invest a lot in our friends. We travel with them and we enjoy them. Missy and I are doing our soul work, helping others in all that we do, and earning a profit proportionate to the value we create for others. We help singles, we help couples, and we help families live better lives and achieve their dreams. Missy and I have a very high net worth and no debt. We don't chase money unconsciously. We know our number. Despite our wealth, our financial life is simple, understandable, organized, and optimized. We don't get involved in any complicated schemes, no fussy investments, We've cut our expenses to create the biggest gap ever between our income and expenses, so we're financially free. Cash is more abundant than ever before. We're surrounded by wealth. We're living really, really well. We live in paradise. We have created our own personal version of heaven on earth. We're fully centered. We're happy. We're creative. We're fulfilled. We are ultra healthy. We're energized. We have an extraordinary love and sex life. We have our ideal career. We have financial abundance. We have an extraordinary relationship with every one of our kids and grandkids. We enjoy truly amazing friendships. We relax a lot and enjoy our life without feeling guilty at all about the immense amount of leisure time that we have. And that makes perfect sense because our life is our work. That's it.
That's our North Star.
That's what we worked for 5 years in a row. That's what we wake up in every
Actually, 30
day.
years.
Oh, that's a good
It was
point.
definitely collecting.
And that's what we're so grateful for. And I want to share a couple things about what you can do. Vish, and I'll hand this back to you, but I want to share a couple things about how having a crystal clear vision that's that vibrant and passionate can completely transform your goal setting and take it to a level of productivity and effectiveness that you can't even imagine.
It changes your daily activities because you have that North Star.
Vishen, can I just say the reason that Elon Musk's was it his sister that said that?
Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Oh, Zuckerberg,
Right.
yeah. Zuckerberg's
Randy
sister.
Zuckerberg.
And here's why she's under that mistaken impression, you guys. Because if you don't have a North Star, well, let me just put it in the positive. If you have a North Star that clear that we just shared, and you're setting goals against that North Star, your goal setting takes on a completely different quality because your goals are not any longer disconnected goals that you're setting in a vacuum, which is her problem. And I'll explain what that is in a minute. Rather, your goals become milestones on the way to a clear vision. Your goals are subordinate to the ultimate vision, which is living that life. They're smaller steps in the process. Now, her issue, her challenge is this. She's doing it from the ground up instead of from the top down. Misty and I do it we start with a North Star and we say, what is it going to take to achieve that? And that's our goal set for the year. And I'll explain how that works a little bit later in the call.
That's training.
Here's what she does. And this is what most people do. All right, it's New Year's coming up. I got to set goals. Well, I'm going to set a financial goal, career financial goal. I'm going to set a love goal. I'm going to set a health and fitness goal. So here's my financial goal. I want to double my income this year. Here's my love goal. I want to take my love relationship to the next level. Here's my health and fitness goal. I want to get in the best shape of my life. Unfortunately, all those goals contradict each other.
And they fall apart because they do.
You set a goal to double your income. That's going to take at least 30% more hours, which is going to take time away from your love relationship. So that's going to right there disrupt your love relationship goal and probably your health and fitness goal too. When you're just randomly defining your desires in a vacuum, they will contradict each other versus this is the life that I want. That's what my love relationship looks like. That's what my fitness looks like. That's what my financial life looks like. How can I set goals that will move me in that direction? Aligned. They're all aligned. There's no friction between any of them. They're all, it's like a river.
That's how you get into flow. That's
right.
Really how that is done.
So that's her problem. And she's never understood that she's setting goals from the ground up and they're going to fight with each other as opposed to knowing what the end game is. And then your goals become the milestone.
And John, so the manifesto is the North Star.
That's correct.
Yes.
That is every decision you make, every action you take is directed at that North Star.
Right.
But go
I just want to say, I want to give an example of why that's so important to your daily life. I'll use our love relationship vision. Okay. Just one category vision. Our love relationship vision is so strong and powerful. And we know what we want that on a daily basis, if one of us gets a little pissy with the other one, we're not gonna engage in any low level stupid BS because we have a North Star that says that's not what we do. We are in harmonious union. So it really does, it literally trains you, your animal body, mind, to do the things you need to do today in the present moment to get you, it pulls you forward. to that star.
It's a decision-making framework,
It
you
is.
guys. The bottom line is this. In life, you can't know which direction is the right way to go unless you know where you want to end up. So your manifesto becomes a decision-making framework, and it's simple. Does this decision get me closer or farther away from that? If it gets me closer, I'm all in. If it gets me farther away from that, no way.
I
Simple.
love what you just shared, Missy. That really, really, really hit me. I love that. Yeah, and I hope you guys got the deep wisdom in what she said. That's beautiful. Could you give us an example of how this helps you with parenting?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I can give an example. What you learn when you go deep in the parenting category is that there is one attribute that you need as a parent that all other attributes pale in comparison. Any strategy that you can come up with parenting will pale in comparison to what I'm going to say. This is the most important thing when it comes to parenting. The kind of person you are. It's not what you say, it's who you are. It's what you do. The example that you for your kids is the most important thing in parenting, with no close second. They're going to look at who you are, not what you say.
They'll feel it too. It's all the things, all the energetics, because kids are so tuned in.
And so when you have that North Star and that's the person you want to become and that's the life you want to live, that's literally the best thing you can do for your parenting, is to have your kids watch you do that and then teach them how to do that for themselves. It's huge.
Now, how do you not fall into the trap of having the drive for money and career suck energy and time out of everything else?
Well, because Vishen
Vishen,
it's only one piece of the puzzle. It's let me give you a good example from my life. When I had that nervous breakdown, we had money. I was destroyed emotionally. When you're destroyed emotionally, what the good is that money going to do you? Can't do you any good. You're ruined. So that's the thing. Money is only one aspect. Money can get you freedom, but how many people do you know that are wealthy and miserable? Money doesn't speak at all to your fulfillment or your happiness. If you don't use that tool right,
it exaggerates who you already are.
That's exactly right.
So a large number of the Mind Valley community self-identify as CEO, entrepreneur, startup founder. How do you prevent the moving towards all of these other beautiful goals, okay? Health, relationships, being a wonderful parent, quality of life, freedom, from actually distracting you and giving you less attention and focus on your business or your mission?
Your focus is on your life vision. That's the thing. The focus shifts to your life vision.
Your whole life.
From your career. You understand that your career is one component that you need to get right in order to achieve that life vision. Having a life vision that excites you and that you're passionate about lowers the intensity level of your career and financial life. It's just one piece, and it's a piece you got to get in place and you got to get right. Did you have something?
Yeah, I was just going to say.
And you don't believe that this will cause your career to slow down.
No.
Okay, that's one of the biggest rules in the world.
So I agree with you. I completely agree with you. My career has accelerated as I started living 12 category living, but it's a hard thing for people to grasp because we've always heard you got to work hard. You got to
Vishen,
work
let's look at your career that exploded after Lifebook. Now let's look at some of the other things that you got in place that made that happen. Your friggin' health and fitness. You know how important your health and fitness is to your career? Your energy levels, your clear thinking,
it feeds
right?
your emotions.
You got your social life better, your emotional life better. Every single thing you did took your career to the next level. That's how it works. It's called category interconnectivity.
I would also
category
just add,
interconnectivity. Yes, that is the word I was waiting for you guys to say. Category interconnectivity, and let me try to articulate it as I understand it. It means that we fail to understand how connected these things are. If you have a loving, supporting partner and your relationship is tight, you are going to crush it in your career because you have the support, you have the emotional care, your energy. You're coming home to someone who can nurture you, and you wake up the next day fired up and fueled.
Exactly.
If your health is good, your cognition goes up, your energy goes up, you're making
Yep.
better decisions.
You
If you
got
have
it.
the right social structures, the right connections, your career is going to boom. I mean, Jim Rohn said you are the sum of the 5 people closest to you. So all of these things are connected. And I'm so sick of entrepreneurs saying, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for a relationship. I don't have time for my health. It's stupid. And most of those entrepreneurs I see never do anything great. But the billionaires I know, right? People who are at the top of their game, people like Naveen Jain, people like Richard Branson, they actually live life like this. They are so freaking healthy. They are so connected to their spouse. They are so loving with their children. Their character is firm. Their lifestyle gives them absolute freedom. And it's shocking that this truth isn't more widely accepted.
Well, yeah, the bottom line is you want to take your career to the next level, get your shit together in every other area of your life, and it's going to explode. I'm going to give one super concrete example of category anonymity. We've seen this over the last 15 years in Lifebook sessions. I have never been able to break through my health and fitness. I've tried everything. I've tried every diet. I've tried every workout program. I can't friggin' stick to it. I have tried and tried, and I've never been able to break through. And then in the parenting category or the love category, okay, in the parenting category is where my breakthrough was when I realized I'm not setting the example that I need to set for my kids. I'm not going to be around long enough as I get older and as they get older, I want to be able to hike Machu Picchu with them. So we've seen health and fitness breakthroughs that have never been able to be achieved for an entire lifetime come from the parenting category or come from the love category. That's a very concrete example of, do you have something to say?
I was just going to say in general, we look at all these categories, right? So we dissect them in the beginning of the program, but it's exactly like what you said, Vishen. We are multi-dimensional beings. And it's hard to organize all that if you don't know how to do it. That's why the structure that John came up with is so brilliant, because one feeds on the next, on the next, on the next.
Exactly.
And yes, we dissect them and look at everything so that you can make sure you don't have any contradictions. It's a way to really get serious flow and integrity in your life. So we dissect everything. And then at the end of the life, we bring it back together through your life vision. And once you do that, you've already gotten rid of all the crazy things that fight with each other. Like he was saying in, New Year's resolutions, that's over. You are completely integrated. You don't have any. And when you do have those dissonant things come up, oh boy, do you feel them right away when you live this lifestyle. So,
and then once you've done that, all you have to do is focus on this. You did all the thinking. Now you got 2 pages you got to focus on. And then we go into goal setting and this transforms goal setting. Go ahead, babe.
I want to say one more thing about money. And this was a game changer for John and I, because you can just, and especially when you're an entrepreneur and you freaking love your job, it's a mission. You're on a mission to freaking do some great shit. Well, if you just get on that and you just go and go and go, you will never, ever, 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 ever stop.
No.
Work will never stop. First of all, you have to say, okay, I'm going to stop at 5. I'm going to have a life. And this was the game changer for John and I. When we said, how much money do we really need? How much money do we really need to fuel our lifestyle, to travel how we want, to help the people we want, to do whatever the heck we want? How much is that? And we set a number and it's like, wow.
That's easy.
Easy, boom. Now this crazy, frantic thing that you do is like mellow.
And the only way that you can get to that number is if you know specifically what you want, and almost nobody does. But once it's so freeing to know what that number is, because it's not unlimited, it's not open-ended.
So your energy just doesn't go and go and go.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, okay, great. Your mission can still continue, but you don't have to be chasing the dollars. You've got that. You've got it set up in your freaking, your chest.
So thank you, John and Missy. Thank you for sharing all of that wisdom. Guys, if you, I'd like you to write in the chat an aha that you got, okay? A belief, an idea, a line for your manifesto. Just put it in the chat. And so ask yourself, did you feel that you gained something here that might challenge your worldview and cause you to grow in a beautiful way? Yes? Did you feel that you got a powerful new way of thinking about your life? Did you feel that you got inspired today? Well, if you answered yes to any of those questions, let's talk about how you can go further and get a life book like what I did here. So when I did this course, I had to fly to Chicago. I was living in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia at that time. I remember it was a crazy 19-hour flight and it cost $5,000. And that was pretty expensive. In 2017, Lifebook and Mindvalley started working together. And one of the things that we did is we helped bring the cost of Lifebook down. Now, during the pandemic, we digitized the entire thing and we turned that seminar into a beautiful online program that you literally take on your mobile phone. And we were able to bring the cost down by a factor of 90%. So you get the same thing that I got, 90%. Okay. At a 90% discount. So we're really excited to share with you what you have access to right now. So let's talk about Lifebook. Firstly, Lifebook is the secret weapon, not just for me, but for many other incredible teachers on Mindvalley. Lisa Nichols tells a really incredible story. Now, Lisa is one of the foremost speakers in the world today, such an inspiring woman. She was telling me how when she was moving house, she was driving in a car with her caravan, her U-Haul behind her, and she had all her belongings in the U-Haul. But next to her in the passenger seat of a car was her Lifebook. That was her most precious possession. Ben Greenfield, who at one point was the #1 fitness trainer in America. I just spoke at the London Biohacking Conference. Ben Greenfield was the headline speaker. This guy is a genius. He was the one who encouraged me to work with John and Missy, who introduced us. And he says that his Lifebook radically transformed the life of him and his family. I know Ben personally. He's an inspiration, not just as a man, but as a father, as a husband. And so by the end of Lifebook, what you're going to have is that beautiful life vision. And you don't have to use the binder. You can put it in your own notebook. You can do it on your computer. There are many ways, but you're going to go deep into each of these categories. John and Missy are going to guide you through video. And in each of these categories, you're going to spend approximately 90 minutes having all of your belief systems, which are holding you back, demolished. Okay, so again, let's note that. John has gone through a vast area of personal growth books. He's one of the wisest human beings I know. With Missy, they're going to demolish every single belief that is holding you back in health, in intellectual life, in your emotional life. And at the end, what's going to happen is they're then going to give you the system so you can create a life on your own terms. So at first, we got to remove all the beliefs holding you back. And then we got to give you the system to tap into your soul and create your personal vision, not John and Missy's vision, your personal vision. Such is the Lifebook process. Now, as you go through these 12 categories, the things you're going to look at is #1, what are my beliefs? Then you're going to look at what is my why? Why is my health important to me? Why is being a great father or mother or spouse important to me? Then you're going to look into the vision. Then you're going to look into the strategy. Now, here's what it looks like. Part 1, we focus on health and fitness and intellectual life. This is where you create this beautiful, radiant picture of your life, of your body and your brain and how you're going to grow into it. #2, you go into mastery of your emotional life and character. We ignore this. We forget this, but this is so essential to us being a good human being, and this will uplift every other category. Remember what John and Missy said, category interconnectivity. 3rd, we go into your relationship with a higher power and your relationship with another human being. And this is so important. Maybe you're not looking for a relationship right now. Well, you define what it is that is a relationship with human beings for you. And you understand that relationships are not binary. It's not I'm in a relationship versus I'm not. There's a whole plethora of different things within that spectrum. You design a love life that is right for you. Next, you go into parenting and social life. Parenting, we all know that's important. Friends are also equally important. Friends uplift us. Friends inspire us. Friends, there were numerous studies done on the blue zone and longevity, and community and social life are key components to actually helping us live longer. A Harvard study on happiness found that the only thing that correlates with happiness, 0.7 correlation, is strength of social connection. This is supremely important, but we don't set goals for it. Isn't it funny? We set goals for our career, our money. We don't set goals for our strength of social connection. Now, part 5 is what our education system does stress: finance and career. But here you understand that it's only 2 of the 12 categories. And finally, your quality of life and then your life vision. John, Missy, anything to add?
Well, I just want to say you kind of blasted through career and financial life, you guys, but the financial presentation in the Lifebook methodology it vibrates at a spiritual level, and it will turn your financial life upside down. It is the customer favorite. You will hear things that you've never heard before, and I think it's our very best work. So I don't want to just skip over that. The financial category is a barn burner, and it'll take your financial life to the next level.
Right. And by the way, John and Missy are incredibly independently wealthy and successful. John was chairman of Precious Moments. It's a company that's done what, 10 billion in sales?
That's correct. Still in.
Yeah. Wow. Still in. Yeah. 10 billion in sales is what his company has done. So you're not learning from I know you look like a hippie, John, with that gray beard and the scarf and your Balinese architecture, but you're a badass CEO. And Missy was the acting CEO of Lifebook. All right. Now there are two options to take Lifebook. So these are two ways you can learn. So the first one is the updated version of Lifebook that is on the Mindvalley app. And right now in 2023, we launched a new version of it called Lifebook Pro. Rather than just go through the videos, we want to give you a full-on immersive experience. So it's a 6-week program. And every week, you're going to do 2 categories. Your time commitment is 3 hours per week. Okay, 2 categories. Now, you may spend an additional hour adjusting, adding more depth to it, but 3 hours a week. Every week, you're going to nail 2 categories. At 6 weeks, you're done. Now, it's a beautiful program. I'm going to give you a demo of what it looks like. It's just stunning. So you access it by going to the Mindvalley online platform, Mindvalley Home. You can type in Lifebook, and let's go for Lifebook Online. And that's what the program looks like. Oops, sorry, that's not it. Let me give you the other one. There we go, Lifebook Online. So you type in Lifebook, and then you dive straight into the program. I want to kind of show you what the quality of production is like. So for example, this is the health and fitness chapter.
So what many of us are
it goes really deep. So you can see this is 90 minutes.
I mean, do you feel?
And at the end of it, there's a bunch of resources for you to do, from templates to to-do task. It's a beautiful, rich program. And we really put a ton of effort in making this program sharp, amazing, structured, powerful, filled with quotes, artistry. And so you go deep into this training. So this is sort of what the program looks like, and you can access it on your Android or iPhone as well. Okay, there are tons of resources also available for you, live call recordings and so on. And you can also browse 2,000 testimonials and stories from people around the world who have done Lifebook. This is part of our community. But why we call it Lifebook Pro is we added a couple of new elements to it. So one of the things we found is that we are more likely to complete our Lifebook if we do it as a class together. So Lifebook Pro gives you 2 additional things. Number one, there is going to be a WhatsApp group that you're all going to be part of. And every single day, we're going to ping you, motivate you. This is through push notifications to inspire you to complete it. We found, really interestingly enough, that when people join this chat group with notifications, they are 40% more likely to complete their Lifebook in that 6 weeks. It's crazy, right? 40% more likely. The second thing that's going to happen is that John and Missy Butcher are going to show up every weekend for a live inspirational call like this. We'll have a facilitator. You guys will get to ask questions, and it's really them. Now, the class, John, do you know when the class starts?
I believe July 3rd, Vision. The week of July 3rd, for sure.
July 3rd.
I think the first
okay.
call is the 5th. I think the first call is the 5th of July, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, perfect. And then what we'll do is there'll be a couple of other bonuses, handpicked pages from John's personal Lifebook, a bonus video on creating your ideal life vision, and of course, you'll get a copy of John's manifesto. Okay, so that's the first option to take it. You're taking it over 6 weeks on the app, 3 hours a week. You complete it over 6 weeks. But there's a second option. Remember I told you that $5,000 seminar I attended? We are going to bring that seminar back for those of you who want to go deep over 4 days and just complete your Lifebook in 4 days. This is going to happen over the last weekend of July and the first weekend of August. So the first option is you can take Lifebook online. That's $500. And this is $500 if you are in Western Europe or the US. It goes down. It's a little bit cheaper if you're in a developing country like Indonesia or India or in Eastern Europe. The second option is the Lifebook retreat. It's happening July 25th to 26th and August 5th to 6th. So 4 days. It's approximately how many hours per day, John?
Let's see. What categories?
8.
8 hours a day.
It's an immersion.
Yeah, it's a full-on immersion. At the end of it, you end up with your Lifebook. So this is 2,000. Now, the picture you're seeing here is actually the Mindvalley team. Every 6 months, we take all our new employees, we take them up to a mountain, they spend 4 days together, and they complete their Lifebook because we see that this actually creates better human beings. It utterly transforms people. So the 4-day Lifebook retreat agenda looks like this. Every day you focus on 3 categories. At the end of 4 days, you're done. Now you got to block out these days. And the good thing is the reason it's not 5K, but 2K is because it's delivered on Zoom. So you don't have to travel anywhere. You can join from the comfort of your home and you will be able to interact with the other people who are going through it. Okay, so you can choose. So at this point, think, what do you think is better for you? Do you want to take it sort of at your own pace over 6 weeks on the Mindvalley app, $500, or do you want to go for the 4-day immersion? That means you don't have to worry.
I'm sorry, can I talk about just the differences and benefits between the two? So,
sure. Go ahead,
the
John.
benefit of the $500 path is that doing it over 6 weeks, you have time to think about what you're going to do. You actually have time to implement some of your strategies. Yeah. It's a more leisurely approach, but the benefit to doing it in 4 days, you guys, it's like, I'm not going to say it's like drinking from a fire hose because that's not right. But what it's like a tsunami of consciousness washing over you. And at the end of that experience, it happens in 4 days. You're like, it is absolutely transformational. That's how we started this organization, is with that seminar. And there's nothing like it. Nothing like that.
But they're either way, you get the same goodness.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so decide now what you think is better for you. Obviously, the surprise difference here, right? It's 500. You want to do it in 6 weeks. But if you want to go for the seminar, and the seminar is incredible. That's what changed my life, because I know 6 weeks I'm going to get distracted. But I know that I can block out 4 days and commit 4 days. And I know that 8 hours on a Saturday and Sunday for 4 days, I know that even though I'm taking that time away maybe from my kids, I'm going to be a better parent at the end of that 4 days. At the end of 4 days, your life, boom, is completely
game changer. Give yourself the gift of 4 days of your life so you can sit down and plan the rest of it. Absolute game changer.
Okay, so the retreat, as I said, is going to be delivered on Zoom. Okay, so think now, just if you guys could put, if you guys prefer doing the app, please put an A. If you prefer doing the retreat, please put a B, just sort of kind of where we know what you're thinking, okay? Wow, so I see a lot of people are putting Bs, even though B is around 4 times more expensive. That's great. About 30% of you are saying B, that you'd love to do the retreat. That's awesome, guys. We're so happy to see this. This is really good market data for us. This is awesome. Yeah, no, I'm really impressed that so many of you are willing to put down $2 grand, 4 days, and get it done. Now, because we love you guys, and because one of John's goals is to get, John and Missy's goals is to get 1 million people on Lifebook, I have a special surprise for you. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to make the retreat free if you do the $500 program. So the retreat is going to be a complete bonus for you. You do not have to choose. So it's $100 for both. Okay, so if you take the 6-week program, the retreat, you can do the 6-week program, you can still do the retreat and refine, or if you don't want to do the 6 weeks program, just buy it anyway and you'll get the $2,000 retreat completely free. Okay, that is our commitment. So I hope you guys are excited about it. Put in a yes if you think this is great and that you'd want to do it. And by the way, it's even better than that. We want to get Lifebook out beyond just an American and Western European audience. It's super important that we get this out in the Middle East, in Africa, in India, in China. We know in many of these countries, the pricing is not, I mean, Like I know in India, the average salary may be $500 a month, right? Like my grandparents are from India. We get that. So it's going to be cheaper in those countries. It's going to be way less than 500. When you go to the page I'm going to give you, it will recognize your country. It will show you members of the Lifebook community in that country, and it'll give you your unique country price. We've created a special price for every country based on UN reports on GDP per capita. We feel that's the best way to create a really diverse, supportive global community. So what are people saying about Lifebook? This is, well, people are basically loving it. You will see we have 2,000 Lifebook case studies on our website, 2,000. This man, Chris, you can watch this video. He achieved his dream of becoming a public speaker. Davy Barros, he found a loving relationship, got married, overcame all the bullshit of his past relationships. And this lady was a mother of two, and Lifebook utterly transformed her career and her confidence in herself. So many incredible stories. Okay, so again, you don't have to decide. We want to get it out to 1 million people, so you get both, not for $2,499, but for $500. Now, all you got to do to sign up is go here. Now, by the way, this, for those of you who have taken Lifebook before, you can do the retreat for just $199. Okay, so if you're one of our 75,000 people who did Lifebook online before and you wanted to do the retreat, it's just $199. We're going to send you a link in your email. Okay, those of you, these are for those of you who already own Lifebook, and for everyone else, just take a screenshot of this page. We can open up this page right now and look at it together, and this is where you can sign up. Okay, again, the link is go.mindvalley.com/Lifebook Pro. Go.mindvalley.com/Lifebook Pro. Okay, that's the page. And as you scroll down, you'll see all the information on Lifebook here for you. Tons of testimonials. You can browse and see the chapter topic. There's a beautiful video here where I explain how Lifebook changed me, and of course, what you get from both options. And then what you'll see over here is how you can sign up and get access to both. So here it's showing me $399 because I'm in Eastern Europe. I'm in Estonia right now. So $399 is the price for Eastern Europe. But if you're looking at this from the USA, it'll be $499. And you'll get both. You'll get the retreat and you will get Lifebook online. So go ahead and enroll, okay? So that's the statement over there. You will get the 2023 Lifebook retreat. So once again, that is the QR code. Go ahead and take a photo of that QR code and we can begin. Now, in our final 15 minutes, John, Missy, we'll use this time to answer questions.
Perfect.
Right.
By the way, I didn't even know that Vishen was going to do what he just did with that retreat. That is amazing, Vishen.
That's so cool.
Thank you for trusting me. So guys, Lifebook and Mindvalley we officially merged. We became one company. John and Missy work on the curriculum. I work on the app and the presentation and the campaigns to bring new users in. Yeah, but so we're really excited to be teaming up to get this to you. So let's look at the questions. I'm going to allow you guys to vote up questions. So click on Q&A. And if you see a question that you like, just click a thumbs up. Okay, so Rebecca asks, my main goal is to have a beautiful relationship with someone who can share life with me. If you don't already have someone who wants to grow with you, can Lifebook really help?
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, we've got in the love relationship category, we've got a section for people who are looking for the love of their life. And we use the example of one of our friends who used to be president of Lifebook, was 45 years old. She was a career woman, and she decided, I've really got to get serious about finding the love of my life. It's a high priority now. And her strategy that she used is completely laid out in the Lifebook program. And you'll find it incredibly valuable. And I just want to say one more thing about Lifebook and the love category. If you are in a relationship right now, there's nothing better for a couple than to go through Lifebook together. And here's why, you guys. 90% of the problems that you will experience as a couple will be because you're not on the same page in one or more areas of life, one or more of these categories. He's a spender, she's a saver, or he's a disciplinarian with the kids and she's lenient. These are the problems in a love relationship. When you go through Lifebook together, and create a common. This is why Miss and I are so friggin', there's nothing for us to fight about. We've like, we
thought it all down.
We know
talked it all down.
We know exactly where we're going in every area of life. This is what allows you to get full integration, full alignment with your relationship, and then start building something together.
That's right.
That
with no dissonance.
Right. So it's just the best tool for a couple.
It is.
And if you're out there looking for the love of your life, it can really help you there too.
Beautifully said. So the next question is this. Karim says, I'm an extremely indecisive person. I'm concerned that I will want to go back and keep updating and changing things in my life book. How do I get past this?
Okay, so that is such a common thing. That's basically, Lifebook is a masculine structure that you fill up with beauty. That's the way that I like to, the masculine is structural, the feminine is expressive. And one of the problems that feminine people, doesn't necessarily need to be male or female, but people that lean more feminine, they're like, yeah, but if I think my life down at that level, won't that be confining?
I won't be spontaneous and be able to have fun and flow.
Could not be more untrue, you guys. The bottom line is, the masculine goes off the rails without the feminine, and the feminine goes off the rails without the masculine.
Yes.
If the feminine doesn't have a masculine structure to contain it, it dissipates into nothing. What Lifebook allows you to do is figure out what you want and start moving toward what you want. But as you learn and grow, you're going to change that. This is a dynamic process.
That's right.
It's incredibly important here's what we say. With Lifebook, your life vision is defined, but it's not confined. It's defined so you know where you're going, the direction your energy is going, but it's not a confined prison. You can change it anytime you want. You're in control.
And because the reason that is because life is fluid. Life changes every moment, right? You're always, look, if you're on purpose, you are intending, and then you allow the universe to give you whatever you intended, right? Well, if you're just going straight ahead with blinders on, you don't get that dance. You don't get that co-creation with the universe. And that is what Lifebook allows you to understand how to do.
Exactly. But if you don't have any structure at all, you're going to be hopeless. I'm telling you right now that if you don't figure out where you want to take your life, you're going to do nothing but spin your wheels. If you're afraid of making a decision, and by the way, the word decision means to cut away. Incision means to cut in. Decision means to cut off. So when you're making a decision, you're cutting off other possibilities and committing to this possibility. You go forward in that possibility. And if in that process you discover that you want to change somehow, that's fine.
Easily.
You're doing
in charge.
But I'm telling you right now, it is an incredible danger not to be in command of the direction of your life. And that's what this program will give you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Missy. Okay, so a couple of things, guys. This offer where you're getting the retreat for free is available for 1 day, 3 hours. You can see the timer up there. And that's because we've actually been promoting this now for about 10 days. We've already had a couple of thousand people sign up. This retreat isn't infinite. It's for the Zoom line that we have. We figured we can do about 3,000 people live and give them a good experience. So it is first come, first serve. Okay. And if you miss it, you miss it. You're still going to get incredible value if you sign up a little bit later and get the app. But the retreat is a gift that we're giving you completely free when you sign up right now. So please go to the page. You'll see the link over there. And you have 1 day and 3 hours. That should be enough time. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, what if I change my mind? Well, sign up now. You can cancel anytime in the next 15 days. If you go here to our Mind Valley's refund, you will see that we have a really incredible refund policy. You can basically try anything in Mind Valley. And anytime in the next 15 days, you can literally go to mindvalley.com refund. And it shows you how to get a refund. You just go to your account, click this button, go to your account, click on billing, click cancel, and the money goes back to you. You don't have to write an email. You don't have to call a number. It's instant. So if you are kind of on the fence, don't be. You don't have to make up your mind right now. Just go buy it right now. So at least you know you have access to it. You're going to be one of that 3,000 people, and you don't miss the 1 day, 3 hour, what's that? 27 hours that we have left for you to enroll. The link has been pasted in the chat, so you will see the link in the chat. Go ahead, click that link and enroll now, okay? Go to the page, scroll down below. You can read, we put a ton of information over there. Scroll down below, enroll, we'll get you information and you'll have access to it.
Awesome.
Okay, and if you're already a Lifebook member, we're gonna send you an email. So if you already own Lifebook, we'll send you an email on how you can just add on the retreat to your account. So don't worry about that. You'll get an email on it. Next question. I have trauma and a victim mentality and I buy things and never do them. How can I make sure I use this?
Got to get you some accountability.
That's right. Accountability will definitely fix that.
Here's what I think you should do. I think you should stop selling yourself short, stop telling yourself that bullshit, and step up and take command of your life. You don't need to sit there in that energy.
That's right.
You have the choice to get in charge of yourself or not. And that's the critical decision that you'll make in your life. Right. Are you going to just let life happen to you? Or are you going to get in front of it, decide where you want to take it? Put your big boy pants on, step up and get in control, because you can do it. And what do you want to go all the way through life, letting other people control you, letting situations control you, you guys? We're moving into a time in this species where if you don't decide where you want to take your life, there are going to be corporations, there are going to be political parties, everyone's going to step up and give you a plan.
That's right.
And you don't want that. That's going to be a bad outcome for you.
That's right.
Step up, care for yourself enough, love yourself enough to sit down and figure out who you want to become and what kind of a life you want to live, because you can create it. It's a commitment. That's all it is. It's a commitment to doing it. You've got it inside of yourself. You can make this happen.
Beautiful.
I love some of the comments I'm seeing. Sarah says, "Oh my God, you're giving me dream mom and dad vibes. Makes me cry happy tears."
Oh my God, you're so sweet. Oh.
So the retreat, the live retreat, is going to be delivered on Zoom. It's going to be the Saturday and Sunday, the last Saturday and Sunday of July, and the first Saturday and Sunday of August. Okay, so you can look it up in your calendar. Last weekend of July, first weekend of August. It's 8 hours. It will be recorded. So if you miss that, you can, or if the time zone doesn't sit well with you, it's going to be something comfortable for the US time zone. John and Missy are in Hawaii. But if you happen to miss it, you can always watch the recording. It will be recorded for you. And then your job is to put yourself into a dedicated space for 8 hours where you can go through it.
You guys, most people spend more time planning a trip to Disneyland than they do planning their lives and how they, right? And that's just, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy that so few people realize that you can actually figure your life out and direct it yourself consciously. That's what we're here for, to help people do that.
That's right. And I like to liken it to this. You may be sitting in the passenger seat of your car, of your life. Imagine your life is a car and you're sitting in the passenger seat. Do you even know who's driving? Probably
not. Your boss, your parents, your teachers, your preachers.
But you're allowing that. So you have actually let that happen. Making a decision is making a decision, or not making a decision. You've still made one because someone else has taken that seat and they're driving your life. So what we do is we put you in the driver's seat. We wake you up and say, hey, you better get control of this vehicle if you want to live an extraordinary life. And who doesn't, you guys? Really, who doesn't? And each one of us is capable. This is how we're wired as human beings. We are capable. It's what we're supposed to be doing, is going after our dreams and making this world better. And this program, I'm telling you guys, this is what we do every day. We've been doing this for almost 35 years. And it works. I mean, this is where we live. This is our life. So we are so happy to help you do it too.
Yeah, guys, it's the last weekend of July. So whatever is the last weekend of July, it's the last weekend of July. I apologize if there was a mistake in the slide. It is the last weekend of July and the first weekend of August. Okay?
Okay.
So with that, we wrap up. John, Missy, any closing words?
Well,
just do it.
we didn't get to one thing that I wanted to get to, which is once you have figured out your life and have your life vision and apply your goal setting system to it, you will be shocked at what you can achieve in your life.
Right.
We don't have time to go into it now, but that's something that you guys listen, sign up for this.
Mhm.
There's no way that you will regret it.
You'd be
No
so
way.
happy.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Vishen.
Thanks so much for spending this
Love you
time with us, you
guys.
guys. Love to everybody. Thanks so much, V.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Bye.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.